Hey YouTubers, welcome to the TainoXtreme YouTube channel. Today I'm in my backyard camping out. I know some people think that it's stupid to do that, but you know, when you cannot go to the mountains, the best thing as a blind person, the best thing that you can do is camp out in your backyard. I just wanted to show you and share some of the things that I do when I go backpacking. Fortunately for my son, he's going in 2 or 3 days. This coming Friday, he's going backpacking to Grandfather Mountain. I couldn't make it. There's a few reasons behind that. This video is not about that. Look, the first thing I do when I go backpacking is put a piece of tarp on the floor. That's what you see here. And then I put my backpack on top. Then I lay down the tarp that goes under the tent. Then I pitch the tent on that tarp, and then I start putting things inside and accommodating this, sleeping bag, my mattress, my sleeping mat, and everything else. I'm gonna be doing some other things, like I'm gonna try to make a campfire and use my wood gas fire stove. The tent that I'm using today is my newest tent, my new acquisition. This is the Big Agnes Seed House SL1. I was never a fan of one-person tents because of a lack of space, but this tent is different. It has plenty of space, plenty of room. For what it is, it's got room for me, my sleeping bag, my sleeping gear, my backpack, my boots. Everything is reduced, but I have room for everything. So I'll get back to you when I have my tent already set up. Cut. All right, the tent is already pitched, with the exception of this string here and another side that I'm not going to put on because we're not in stormy weather. The conditions are, I would say, perfect. The next thing I do, the reason why they're perfect to me is because it's not windy. There's no precipitation. I mean, there's snow, it's cold and all that. We have like 30 degrees right now. We're in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, and it's just great. So the next thing I do is, you see this plastic, the leftover that is hanging outside, I fold it down in under the tent. And the reason is, if we have precipitation, like rain, then at least from that side, because the slope goes this side down, at least from that side, the rain is going to go on the tarp and then under the tent, and we don't want that. Okay, so that's the next thing I do. I'm going to do it all around. And back here, still doing it. I don't have anything else. I'll stretch it this way a little. Around here, I had some. So the trick is to keep it always under the tent floor. Alright? And that way, if it rains, you're not going to have a puddle of water under it. I know some people say that, hey, I've never seen that happen. It happens. I've seen it happen. So, that's a piece of advice. So that's the next thing I do. Now the tent is ready. All my gear is here. You see this flashing? This is one of those, I call it disposable flashlights, because I tried to open this thing to see where to change the batteries, and I couldn't find it. And there's no way. They're very cheap. I got it at Walmart. It has a whistle on its back, but I took out the cap that covers it just to put a string on it. The reason I put it in there is because when I go backpacking, the only thing I can see, well, one of the things that I can see is light. I don't see what the light illuminates around, but I can see light. So I put it there. It has several modes. Let me show you. It's off now. It's the headlight, the body, and the head. I mean the handle and the head. The body only, and the body flashing. That way the battery is going to last longer. Alright, so this is just for me to know where my stuff is, where the entrance of the tent, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie it somewhere on top above here and keep it on, not while I sleep, but if I have to get out of the tent, like going to the campfire, going to cook something, go to, empty my bladder. If I go outside, I don't do that anymore. Nowadays I do it inside of my tent, inside of an empty bottle of Gatorade. But if I have to go outside for any reason, when I come back I can see the light flashing, and I go straight at it. Just have to walk to it. Alright, so the next step is to put everything inside here. So I'm going to sign out now, and when I'm ready to show you something else, I'll come back. Alright. Look at this. I already set up my bed. I have my cushion, my 3 inches thick cushion, my pillow, my sleeping bag on top of it. And if you can look at this, I put it in one side, and in this side there's my sleeping bag. And I still have room here for my boots or anything I want. This is a one-person tent, okay? The difference. Look, I'm sitting on the side. I have my sleeping bag here. I have all this room, and one-person tent. The difference between this one and the other one-person tents that I've seen, I guess the Hava is one of them from MSR, and I don't remember the other name brand of the others, but I guess the Nook is another one. The difference is when in those tents, in one-person tent, you have room only for your sleeping bag and you, nothing else. It's like this wall is right here, and this is this wall here, the walls of the tent, they're that small, and this one offers you all this room for one-person tent. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. When I saw it, immediately I decided to buy. And then they have the Flight Creek on 1-person and 2-person. It was a lot light. I mean, not a lot lighter, but considerably lighter than this one. But also the price was considerably high. See what I did here? I put the flashlight hanging in this side here, and that tells me where my tent is all the time. All I got to do then later on is turn it off. And this little thingy is waterproof, so I can leave it all night out there. It could rain, it could snow, it could not, it could be cold, whatever, it's there. Nothing is going to happen to it. Now the next thing I want to show you is when I'm ready to go to bed. I'm not ready to go to bed, but I'm going to show you this now. All right, I got something in my pocket here, and I'm going to show you. These are 2 shower hats. What I do with this is I shake my boots. Good. I put one on. I put the other one in my boot. My other boot. And I can go inside, and my tent is not getting any dirt, any moisture, or anything. Then I take off my boots, and I keep them inside here. Pretty cool, huh? I'm going to take it off, because I'm not ready to go to bed yet. I'm going to put it in my pocket. Again, and the other one. Now if you do this, you got to remember you have it on, because there was one time when I used them, and I forgot it. Then I started walking around with them on. And I said, oh brother, because I got them all dirty. These are disposable. I got them at Walmart. I think they come like 30 of them or 20, something crazy like that. A bunch of them in a small pack that cost me like around $2 or $3. It was that cheap. So I used them. You can keep using the same over and over until they rip. They're no good anymore. You dispose of them and you get another pair. That's why they're disposable. But you don't have to dispose of them at the first time. Just use them, try to keep them without breaking them, and keep using them until you cannot use them anymore. So what I'm going to do next is something different. I'm going to show you, but for now I'm going to be signing out. to go get ready for the next thing that I want to show you, okay? Signing out now. Okay, what I'm doing now is putting an extra insurance for in case of rain on top of my tent. This is a thought. I don't care what anybody says. I've been criticized by this, because of this, but I always do it anyway. Because I've had rain to filter into my tent in the past, and it's very unpleasant when that happens. So what I do always, I bring this extra tarp that I call extra insurance against rain. This is a brand spanking new tent, so I don't expect it to filter any rain, but you never know, because I've had brand spanking new tents in the past that could not tolerate a very hard rain. Remember that time it was pouring really hard. I should say really hard. So I always do it. And plus, this provides a little extra layer of warmth. In theory. Okay? So, that's pretty much it for the tent. I'm going to be showing you something else that I do when I go backpacking. This is fun. I wish a lot of people out there would go backpacking. If everybody would decide to go backpacking, there would be no crime, no sad people. Everything would be, this would be a better world, I think. It's one of these things that brings you peace, and joy. And when you're backpacking, you forget about problems. While you're backpacking, you're enjoying nature and all that, and you forget about problems. You don't get any bad ideas. You're just enjoying nature. Alright? So I'm going to sign out right now. I'm going to show you another something. Hey, I want to show you with you this little bit. What I have here is my wood gas fire stove with some of the accessories I created for them. You can refer to my video about that. I'm going to get started. There it goes. Wood gas fire stove. With that platform that is on top there, I have a very good, one second. A very good surface. Where's the aluminum foil? Where's the aluminum foil?
Right under your foot.
Right under my foot? The other one? Oh, I got it here. Alright. I want to put aluminum foil on my GSI pot because I don't want to get it burned at this, not until I get it ready for fire. When you use this in a isopropane backpacking stove, it doesn't get, burned under it. But if you use fire, it gets burned. So what I'm going to do with this is paint it with Rust-Oleum black flat that resists fire. I heard Hiram Cook saying that you could do that. You can do that, and once it's black under your pot, it gets more efficient. It hits water faster. The phenomenon of colors and temperature. Black attracts heat, and then reflectives like shiny metal looking things reflects heat back out like a mirror, and white and lighter colors are fresh. They don't attract heat at all. Well, the same thing. Well, that's what happens with the black, and that's the mystery behind it in his theory. This guy was saying in one of his videos that some people are using it, and he got that idea from them. But he did it in one of his spots, and it was not very successful. No, I'm sorry, not on one of his spots. He did it in his wood gas fire stove, painting the inner can that goes in the outer can, and he was having problems. You see the fire there, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
My son is being the camera person today, so I'm not.
Hey YouTube, good morning. Last night wasn't really cold. I survived though. Let me explain you my sleeping system and my warmth layers. Last night, well, you can see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a hood. It's made out of fleece that I got at Walmart from the hunting section. Very nice, very warm. I highly recommend it. Then I have a base layer of fleece thermals. My pants, my shirt, and then on my shirt I also have a jacket, a fleece jacket, pretty thick fleece jacket. I don't know if you can tell. And my sleeping bag. I have this extra layer. Let's say this extra layer of warmth that I made for my sleeping system. I was warm at the beginning of the night, very warm, so warm that I was getting hot. I had the temptation of opening my sleeping bag, but I thought no, because later it's gonna be colder. I guess, you know, when the effect, my body stopped producing so much heat, temperatures dropped down also. There were a couple of variables. My sleeping bag is not very efficient on the bottom part because I started feeling cold from the sides in my arms, from the bottom, and you know my arms were the part of the sleeping bag that is hanging outside of the sleeping mat. I was getting cold, not that much cold, but just enough to keep me awake. My feet were warm. I had wool socks. Everything, you know, on top of me, above my body, was feeling warm. It was just, you know, the bottom part, like I said, my arms. So I guess what I'm going to do with my sleeping bag is to customize it a little bit more. The reason is because the bottom part I put in the bottom panel Insultex like instead of Primaloft like I did in the upper panel. So that's what I'm going to do next. I think that's what the problem is. The reason why I put Insultex like is because, you know, when you lie on top of the bottom of your sleeping bag, it gets flat and it doesn't have any efficiency. That's why you have to use a sleeping pad or mat like I'm using now. But the problem is that I didn't think about is, you know, around the arms, under your arms, that is not flat, is hanging in the air. That part, if I had Primaloft there, it would have been warm. But because it's you know, this Insultex like material is nothing but a very thin layer of foam. You know, foam is an insulation, but it's not that efficient. It's not that good. So what I'm going to do, you know, for being inactive, being lying down, it's not very efficient. If I had you know, Insultex like pants and shirt and I was walking around and I was active, my body was constantly producing heat, and then it was okay, but not for sleeping bag. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, take that Insultex like out of the bottom panel of my sleeping bag and put Primaloft. Primaloft is excellent. It's great. Okay. So my plans for tonight, I mean for tomorrow night. It's not night, it's day. My plans for tomorrow night is to sleep here again. I'm in the backyard of my house. I couldn't go backpacking this winter. Long story. So I didn't want to let, you know, this winter pass by without going outside at least. So since I'm legally blind, I cannot drive a car. I cannot go anywhere. I didn't have companionship this time. All right. So I'll keep you posted. Okay. Let me see. How to turn this off. By the amount of light there is out there right now, I can assume it's probably 9 a.m. I don't know. It's like that. Let me show you my tent. This is the Big Agnes. Big Agnes one. Oh, Seed House SL1. I highly recommend it. It's very roomy for a one-person tent. Let me tell you that. Very nice tent. Very comfortable. I've never been a fan of one person's tents. It's because of the lack of space inside, lack of room, but this one is a winner in my opinion. They sold me out when I went to REI and tried it out. You know, they let me open it in the store. They had a big room for conferences. They let me open it and lie inside and put some things inside to see how roomy it was. And my budget was a little bit tight. I was aiming to buy the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2, but then the UL1 was a little cheaper, but it was a very high price. It was like almost $400. This one was $280, and I got a 20% coupon discount, so I paid like $230, something like that. Still a very expensive tent. Tents nowadays are not cheap. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna have breakfast now, and I'm gonna do something else later that I'm gonna show you. But maybe at night. I'll do the campfire at night. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the daytime. Probably nothing to show you. So I'll see you later. Okay, just stay tuned. I'll turn this thing off.
This one.
now, it's just my second night in this camp out in my backyard, is to get started at a campfire. I never get to do the campfire duties because whenever I go with my backpacking buddies, somebody takes care of that. Plus, they feel paranoid that I'm gonna get burned. But when I do it with my wife, it's totally different. She puts me to do everything. And she says, "Just call me whenever you need me." So that's what I do. I'm trying to get here. Okay, here. Here's cigarette lighter. I got a match in my hand. What I got here is a piece of cotton ball covered with wax. I'm gonna pinch it with these two pieces of tinder that I made and try to light it up. Okay. Like I said, this is gonna be one of those few times that I do this. So I never do it like this. I always put all kinds of, pine cones and stuff like that. And it's much better, but I'm not in the woods. I'm in my house. I don't have pine trees. Not the kind that produce pine cones. I try to light up the match there. Rather using the match to light this up. It's out. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Can you cut while I'm getting ready here? See, I got the cotton ball covered with wax here, and I'm gonna put it right under here. Still going. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep feeding it with this tinder to make a little fire under here. So that, see if this becomes a bigger fire. You know, the style of campfire that I'm using now, it's kind of a hybrid mixture. It looks like a log house campfire, but at the same time my intention in reality was to do something like, when you put your log wood, your firewood in your fireplace, inside have two logs in the sides, it's hollowed inside, and then I stack them up. But I stack them up like that, one layer like horizontal, one layer vertical, and keep going up like that, like a log house. And the reason I'm doing that is because it is so much easier. Like that. So this is going to be my first time ever doing this all by myself using the cotton ball. When I do this helping others, I just help, splitting wood or using the saw to cut the wood. Simple things like that, or carrying the wood, or passing the wood to the person who is dealing with it. So far so good.
Papa, the hollow.
Huh?
The hollow.
Alright. I'll see you guys in a little bit to see how this goes. Alright. It's making progress. It's catching on fire. So that was the main thing. So, yeehaw! I feel very proud of myself. Things like this make me feel real good. It's because I never get to do these things. Alright, it's catching on fire. I'm gonna be a rolling fire in no time. So, can you take it from under here? From that angle? Then we can take it from there. Can you see it? With the camera? Okay, just a matter of waiting now. Okay, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I got a campfire. I got it going. Thanks to my son, he helped me a little bit. This is my fire kit. This is what I always use. I bring a bunch of strike anywhere matches. Matches covered on toilet paper and wax. And cotton balls covered with wax. And that's what I used this time. And a couple of I make, pardon me, little balls with duct tape. That works too. I don't know where my cigarette lighter ended up. Can you see it, Katie?
No.
Cigarette lighter?
Oh, it's under your table.
Oh, I got it here. So that's what I got in my fire kit. I also have, let me show you here. I have one of those plastic covers for some kind of memory device that is, it's not a memory stick. I don't remember the name of this, but it's a plastic cover. Let me try to open it. Okay, open it. So I glued here a piece of striker for those matches that are not strike anywhere matches, and I keep it there waterproof. Okay, that way I don't have to carry the box of matches. So this is a Ziploc, and everything I mentioned is here. This is my fire kit. I've always used this. It always worked. So I don't use anything else. I have an accessory that I got in Lowe's hardware store. It's one of those things that soldering guys use to light up the torch, the gas torch. One of those things. I use it sometimes with my gas canister stove. Besides that, this is it. It's my fire kit. Very efficient. It always works. I've never used it in altitude, high altitude, because I never go high altitude. The highest I've ever been is Grandfather Mountain, and I don't know what altitude I've been, but it's always worked. So I'm not the kind of backpacker that goes to 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet. I just go there wherever I can and have some fun and have a good time. So from here is just have a good time by the campfire. And later on, when the campfire is about to get extinguished, I'll go to bed. All right. So I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. Man, there's nothing better than enjoying a good time at night in a campfire with some friends. All right. I'll see you in a little bit, maybe in the morning. Okay. And sign out now. Hey YouTubers, good morning. Today's Thursday morning. I survived last night. Temperatures right now is 14 degrees. Last night was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. It got so cold that I had to get up and put on my jacket and put on my bib pants, and then went back to sleep and everything was fine. The other thing that was torturing me was that nature called and I had to empty my bladder bad. So what I did was to take my empty bottle of Gatorade that has that blue liquid of for toilets, empty my bladder in the comfort of the inside of my tent while still in my sleeping bag, like being like that on my knees, empty my bladder and end of story. I didn't have to sacrifice warmth and comfort. It was real nice. I went back to sleep and the warmth came back to me. Now I wanted to show you this morning this. See, this is one of those disposable, I call it disposable flashlights. I have it here hanging in the tent. What I did was turn it on. I turned it on and while this was on, I was be able to walk around and come back to my tent and find it by this. And the way I put it, I hung it here. It's hanging from a little piece of string here. But I wanted to show you a little something. If I can get it out. Let me see. Okay, here it is. This is one of those miniaturized 8-figure carabiners. I put it there in this string and I hung it there so I can snap it in and snap it out and absorb it real quick, real nice. Well, that was it. I just wanted to let you about last night campfire. Campfire was fantastic. The flame was flowing with the wind really big. Must have been almost as tall to my neck. You know how it is that fire needs fuel and oxygen in order to be, really vivid, really strong, and that's what happened. Last night we had a mild breeze like today, and the wind was blowing in all directions. It was really crazy, so I got smoke all over me all the time. I had to constantly walk around the campfire and sit down, and then when I had the smoke on me, get up again and walk around and sit back down, and it was like that for maybe 2 hours. Now when the fire was down to, the campfire was down to coals, red coals, I wanted to go to bed. It must have been like maybe 10 p.m. So what I did, it was to put a big pile of snow on it and extinguish it like that. And that way I went, with free-minded, that peace of mind that the campfire was not unattended. All right. So this is it. This is the last portion of this video of my adventure. I didn't get to go to the, up to the mountains. What must have been a 2 nights adventure in the Appalachians, somewhere in the Appalachian Trail, was 2 nights in my backyard. But when you cannot go to the Appalachians Trail, to any mountain, well, go to the backyard. I didn't want to let this winter go pass by without having this adventure, feeling the thrill of going backpacking in the winter and the challenge of surviving in the snow. I really wanted to do that bad. All right, so I guess this is it. I hope you liked my presentation. I really enjoyed it very much. It was real nice. My tent was real nice and cozy inside, warm, with my sleeping bag and everything, and I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to, thanks for watching, and don't forget to thumbs up this video and throw me some comments just to send me some suggestions and tell me if you like it or not. All right, see you guys later.